כמו יום חדש, כמו כרגיל,
Wow, okay. Well, there's certainly a lot to unpack there. I didn't want to stop it in the middle because I didn't want to interrupt the flow. It's such an emotional song. My first impression is just the clarity of her voice is really incredible. You never hear the effort that is involved in singing in her voice, which it's funny that she's referred to as the Madonna of the Middle East. I mean, I get why they would say that because she's so incredibly successful and she had such a crossover appeal. But I would liken her more to like Whitney Houston, because her instrument, the way that she sings, is so incredible from a technical standpoint, and you can't hear the mechanics behind it. That's really the true mark of a master, I think, when you know that it's so much has gone into perfecting that craft, and so many thousands of hours. And she had to start with an amazing voice to begin with, but so much went into perfecting that voice, and yet it sounds so easy. You know, you can't hear any of what it takes to kind of produce that sound. I think that's really something that sets someone like her apart from other singers. She just has such a beautiful clarity to her voice. You never hear any raspiness or any phlegm or anything like that. And she's able to transition throughout her entire range. She's able to sing really quietly and really powerfully, and yet both sound equally as easy. I especially enjoyed vocally the ad-libby runs at the end. So let's go back and listen to just one of those and really hone in on that. So the way that she uses her voice there, it just sounds like an instrument, right? It's like, ah. It almost doesn't sound like a human voice, right? It's like more of this like emotional gesture, and it's got, I mean, I keep coming back to those words haunting and otherworldly because that's really what her voice makes me think of. And whenever she has those ad-libs and those silulim, there's something that's like that's so different from most other singers, and it really just transports you and puts you in like a different mood than like your everyday pop songs. So that you could make la da da right? Very, very simple, but listen to the way that she does it. She adds so much more to that. Right? So it's like doing all these turns around that very basic melody, right? The da 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 da. If you were to strip away all of those grace notes, all those neighboring notes, all of those turns, all of those trills, the melody becomes very simple, but her artistry is that she really adds so much around that melody to really make it special and really make it shine.
I had no yellow for burning sands. I sat down and painted peace. Salam, shalom.
She has that incredible vibrato that she uses a lot, and all of those little tiny ornaments and riffs and runs, they're so beautiful and they're so difficult. So she just really is displaying her vocal training. The other thing that I noticed is that she's really opening her mouth wide as she's singing, so you can see that she's maximizing her resonant space, right? She's getting a really, really wide open mouth, and then her tongue is very, very low, and so she's really keeping her throat nice and open.
מים רבים לא יוכלו לכבות את האהבה ונהרות לא ישטפו אם ייתן איש את כל הון ביתו.
I love the control of all of that silulim, the you know, that harmonic minor scale. Right? It really, really sounds very exotic and Middle Eastern, you know. But the thing that I'm always struck by is just how much control she has over all those riffs and runs. It's not an easy thing to do, and she maintains her pitch so perfectly, and she's so trained, and she just sings with such ease. You don't hear the effort. So that was another great example of that melismatic singing where she's really doing a lot of difficult riffs and ornaments, and she has that vocal control. I also really, really love that crying, yearning quality of her voice where she really swells into her dynamics, where she's like, ah, you know, ah. It's like, oh, it like pulls on your heartstrings, you know? There's a lot of nuance and richness of interpretation there. Very nice example of how Ofra's able to get a lot of power, but you never really hear her pushing or straining or reaching with her chest voice. You know, it just seems very, very easy and balanced. Very, very nice melismatic stuff there. Very, very pretty. Lots of vocal control.
Everyone knows when they pay, they will stay another day.
So I wonder like what her vocal warm-up routine was like, because her voice always sounds so clear, you know, like she never sounds like she like has like phlegm or like grit or anything. Her voice is always so pure and clear, and she just, I think, was just blessed with that instrument. But I'm curious to know like what her routine was like to maintain that voice.
אוויר הרים צלול לקיים וריח אורני נישא ברוח ארבעים עם כל פעמונים.
So in that one, you really hear Ofra's lovely vibrato. She really has one of the most beautiful vibratos I've ever heard in a singer. And also just the variation in dynamics within phrases. One thing that I really love about her is she won't just create musical dynamics over the span of a phrase. Within a note, she'll swell and have that, you know, that dynamic shift where she goes from pianissimo to fortissimo and back again. And that really adds a lot of emotion into her singing.
כל הנשמה שנתת
like the repeated figures in her singing, it really adds to that droning quality, and it almost like casts a spell on you, right? When she has that like da 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 da, it's like a repeating, almost like whirling dervish, this like repeating thing that can like put you into almost a trance, you know? So I think that that's really, really pretty and cool. Gorgeous. I was just thinking that if you were to like hook up Ofra's voice to measure her vibrato and like the rate of oscillation, I'm sure it would be like perfectly even. She has the most incredible vibrato.
Ayuma bahar amor alila khuvasari weno shir beshir mizmor banigun liosari.
Some very, very complicated melismas in there, some very complicated riffs. That sounds like from her early career, and that sounds like a more traditional Yemeni song. And so that control, that vocal control of doing all of those riffs is really, really incredible. I'm not even going to attempt to sing any of this or really break it down because her voice is so distinctive and she does so many incredible things with it that it really is a crime when I try to imitate her. But it really does show off the best qualities of her voice that I think we've all come to know and love on this channel. She's got that amazing vibrato and those really gorgeous ornaments and melismas that require a lot of control. And then she's got a lot of dynamic variation that really expresses the emotion of the song.